So the View co-host Sunny Hostin claims that eclipse is caused by climate change. No way this can be real. No, I refuse to believe that this happened.
We've got the earthquake. She ran down the hallway.
The rapture is here.
The rapture's here. And then also I learned that the cicadas are coming.
Cicadas.
Although I love for the first time in like
No.
100 years.
No.
Two different. Well, this is what I read. Two different times.
Two different kinds of cicadas.
Yes, two different times are coming.
The good cicadas and the bad
But
cicadas.
for the first time in many.
What on earth am I watching? Do people actually consume this for entertainment? Are there individuals out there that take time out of their daily lives in order to sit down and watch this?
Years.
No, every 17 years this happens.
Well, that's not what I read, but maybe maybe
well,
you know better. But
in
I
a
will
way,
say all those things together would maybe lead one to believe that either climate change exists,
That's one of
or
the
something
points.
is really
Except
going
Earth is
on.
returning. Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground.
No,
It can't. I don't think that's.
it happens,
How about the warming of the
and
planet?
the eclipse. They've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen.
My fucking God. I didn't believe it. Now that I see it, I still don't believe it. So basically, climate change is like Satan. Earthquakes, Satan. Cicadas invasion, Satan. Everything bad in the world, Satan. All right, how do I even unpack this? Where do I even begin? It reminds me of that Facebook page, I Fucking Love Science. And I remember when Facebook was popular, everyone here was subscribing to that website. Everyone was like, oh, I fucking love science. And when you looked at it, it bombarded you with frivolous information, like things like cicadas, like the Big Bang Theory type of trivia, where like some random trivia about science. But people didn't know the basics. Like whenever they would push an actual article about science, like the basic, they didn't care. But it's like, oh, the way of the cicadas mating rituals. Now people are experts, and they're correcting you. Cicadas, no, they're different things. But all that aside, all of the pop culture of my generation aside, I noticed that there's like different standards, right? Like there's standards for leftists, and there's standards for right-wingers. Can you imagine if Tucker Carlson would have said something so ridiculous that the solar eclipse is caused by climate change? Like, he would never be able to get away from that. Every single newspaper would write about it. Every single comedian would make fun about it. Everywhere you'd go, you'd see that. Now, granted, like this lady did get her own articles. Not a lot, but a couple. Mostly from, like, right-wing sources, and even those, like, places that don't have that much readership. But that's it. It's like a blip, So if you're a person that likes to say dumb stuff, become a leftist, because you're not going to be held to much account. Like, you're not going to get an army of fact checkers on your ass. You're not going to have the mainstream media write articles about you. And it's not just that, it's also the interesting way that climate change seems to work. If you have, like, let's say a forest fire somewhere, immediately all the media go, oh, well, it's obviously because of climate change. Oh, it's because of climate change. And in some of those cases, you may find out that it was actually because of arson, or it was any other causes rather than natural, right? So basically what I'm saying is that when there is a forest fire, or when there is something like that, if the media says, oh, it's because of climate change, there are no fact checkers. Oh, like, well, hold on, you don't really know for sure. Like, we haven't even found out what started the fire, and you're claiming that you know the cause. Meanwhile, if the opposite happens, like let's say you have a colder winter, or you have, lower temperatures in the desert or something like that, and people say, well, this is because of climate change, they'll be like, no, it's the weather, right? Like, climate and the weather are different. Immediately, fact check, So it seems that the conversation is always pushed on one side. Like, on one side, you can push as much as you want. You can say that, oh, earthquakes and the solar eclipses are being caused by climate change. But if you, on the other hand, go, it's like, well, we had a very cold summer. Like where is the heat? Where is the? Oh no, you can't say that. You can't. Fact checkers. And then it's also the conspiracy theories, right? Like, right-wingers are not allowed to have any conspiracy theories of their own. But then on the left, you have the conspiracy like the patriarchy, you know, the magical cock and balls in the sky that keeps women oppressed. And all of the men, they work in tangent and they work together to oppress their wives and their daughters. And, like, that's fine. You can say that. You can say that. There's no fact checkers. There's nothing. And then you have, like, Robin DiAngelo famous book where apparently all white people in America are conspiring together in order to create systems of systemic racism. And they're conspiring with each other so effectively that they don't even need to talk about it. Like they are coordinated at a subconscious level in order to create this racism. And if a white person thinks they're not a racist, that just proves they're a racist. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, that's a bestseller book. That's called White Fragility by an esteemed American author that doesn't get fact-checked. So again, like, this is why this particular thing triggers me. It's, first of all, the difference in standard that is being applied. Like if you're a liberal, if you're a leftist and you're saying leftist things, then people do not hold you to the same account. They even do not have the same expectations. Again, imagine if Donald Trump said something like this. I mean, if Donald Trump said, oh yeah, well, the solar eclipse is climate change. Like, even today he would be laughed about it. Right-wingers would laugh at him as well, not just leftists. And then, of course, it's the whole cult of the climate. Like, I swear, it's all about, you know, okay, so everything bad in the world is happening because of climate change. Okay, well, how do we fix it? Well, you vote Democrat. That's how you fix it, right? If the weather is bad, you vote Democrat. Now, it used to be in the past, especially during the medieval times, that if you had, like, a swarm of locusts, if you had plagues, if you had earthquakes, or even solar eclipses, it was because we angered God. Right, so God is angry. He's upset with that. Like, what do? Well, donate more money to the church. Right, like, donate more money to the church. Go and pray more often. Listen to the priests. It's literally like this now. It's like, oh, it's climate change. What do? Well, donate more money to activists and campaigns. Listen to the media more. Vote Democrat. And then it's the penance as well. Like, back in the day, in medieval time, it would be the penance. You know, fast more often, pray more often. Now it's turn off the air conditioner, do not use a car in order to travel to work, just walk. It's the same thing. It's like penance. Like, I swear to God, the comparisons between religion and this cult is so staggering. It's just, this one lacks a deity, I guess. It actually lacks saints and it lacks a deity. But other than that, all the comparisons are there. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.
Maybe lead one to believe that, you know, either climate change exists
That's more
or
the
something
point.
is really
Or
going on.
return.